weekend, I had the pleasure of attending a event that was hosted by my friend and sister. And what really stole the show for me was a particular question that she asked us. When was the first time you encountered God? Whew. I knew right there in that moment. I've been holding back, y'all. I have really been holding back on so much as to how I even got to this place of searching for healing and increasing my faith and just being on this journey to becoming. This question really made me reflect because my first encounter with God wasn't in church, but it was in that place where I felt broken. Today, I want to share my real and raw journey on how I truly encounter God for myself. Since the very beginning, I grew up in church. My mom had us in church. Yeah, I swear it felt like we were in church from Monday through Friday. Well, Monday through Sunday, because we had to show up Sunday. I feel like Saturday probably was the only off day, maybe, but it felt like we were in church every day. Now, did I understand everything that was going on? Nope. I vividly remember my mom crying. Like, I just could not understand, what is you crying for? They were hollering, running around, jumping. And so when the moments came, I just was like, what is going on? Even when I moved with my dad, I went to church as well. I was curious. As to, like, who is this God that we speak of? Just wanting to have a deeper understanding, wanting to have those encounters that I saw other people have. And I never forget, my grandma talked about God with me so much, and she always let me know, look, when you ready to give your life to Christ, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready for you. And now I don't remember telling her that I was ready yet. But I do remember us having like a conversation the day before I actually went down to accept Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I never forget, y'all, it felt like a movie. And I felt like it was the longest walk ever. She walked back like in the pew, like where I was, and she just reached her hand out, and I grabbed her hand, and she walked me down to the front. And that's when I gave my life to Christ. In 2021, as I know, life would suddenly change. I revealed to my family and loved ones that my dad had sexually abused me the entirety of the time that I lived with him. And even though this moment was so freeing, even though, that off my chest made me feel so much better, it wasn't until I decided to share my story on YouTube when everything kind of changed for me. I had people who didn't necessarily agree with the fact that I was coming on YouTube to share my story. I didn't really get the gentleness and care that I would have liked during that time of my life. Because as I've expressed before, when I spoke up, when I told my story, it felt like it happened all over again. Like, even though I'm grown and I'm out of harm's way and I'm living on my own, I'm doing good, it's like that little girl in me resurfaced and all those feelings were back and fresh. And so I needed to do what I had to do to just heal. And so when I didn't get that support from the people I love the most, and the people who actually introduced me to God, and the people that played a part in my salvation, I was devastated. I was disappointed, and it caused me to really just pull back and just say, whoa, who is this God that these people serve? Like, that will cause them to turn their backs on me. And from there, I went on a journey. I wouldn't necessarily say I denied God, denied Christ. I did take a step back and reanalyze my beliefs. I went on a journey of exploring different beliefs. I would ultimately come across videos of like New Age and And I even had a friend who was Muslim, and she would share with me her beliefs. As I began to go on this journey of exploring the different practices and different beliefs, I ultimately just realized I was not just looking for answers. I was looking for healing. It wasn't Christ who disappointed me. It was those that I loved. But I was blaming Christ for what they did. And that's when I started coming to the realization that I may have been idolizing those people. I may have been putting them in a position that only God can feel, and expecting things of them that I should only expect from God. People aren't perfect. People aren't perfect. People will hurt you. People will disappoint you. But God never disappoints. And that's where I had it confused. I can't pinpoint the exact moment where I had the realization, but I do know this. I do know the things that I was doing, the things that I was listening to, the things that I was reading was not giving me peace. It was only making me more and more anxious, to moments where I couldn't sleep. I had disturbing dreams. It was chaos. And I realized that I had to surrender. I had to surrender my doubts. I had to surrender my fears. I had to surrender the hurt. I had to surrender the disappointments. I had to surrender the beliefs that I had created in my mind. I had to surrender all those things that I had thought were right, even the things that I knew were wrong. I had to surrender everything to Him and just allow Him to come in and heal me and work on me. From then on, I began to build my faith. Build my faith by reading, by praying, by building a relationship with God. Did y'all hear that? A relationship. I was going to church all those years. Didn't know nothing they were talking about. I was doing communion. Didn't know nothing they were talking about. I was repenting. Like, I was doing all those religious practices, but I never had that relationship with God. But it wasn't until I had that relationship is when I was able to be less anxious. As I began to align or allow God to come in and align me and work on me and fix me, that's when I really began to experience true peace. And that's when I truly encountered God. When He stripped me of everything and made me realize that He was all I ever needed. Let this be a reminder that if you find yourself questioning God because of how other people have hurt you, understand this. People will fail you, but God never will. And if this video resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more faith and healing content.